The letters beneath the oak tree. In a quiet village nestled between rolling hills and golden fields, there stood an ancient oak tree at the edge of a meadow. The villagers often spoke of it with reverence, not just because it was the oldest tree in the region, but because of the love story whispered in its shade. Amelia had moved to the village to escape the noise of the city. She was a writer seeking peace, hoping the tranquility of the countryside would help her finish her novel. Each morning, she'd walk to the oak tree, lay out a blanket, and spend hours writing beneath its vast branches. One morning, as she brushed away a pile of fallen leaves near the roots, she discovered a small tin box. Inside were dozens of old letters, yellowed with age and tied with a faded blue ribbon. Curious, she untied them and began to read. The letters were from a man named Thomas to a woman named Eliza, dated back to the early 1940s. Each letter spoke of longing, devotion, and the ache of distance. Thomas, a soldier in World War II, had written to Eliza during every moment of quiet he had, beneath the stars in foreign lands, in the cold trenches, by candlelight in lonely barracks. He wrote of the oak tree, their favorite spot before he left, and how he imagined her waiting there, just as the tree waited for spring. Amelia was enchanted. She returned each day to read more letters, becoming immersed in a story that was heartbreakingly beautiful. But the last letter ended abruptly. No farewell, no closure. Just silence. Unable to let go, Amelia began searching. She asked the villagers about Thomas and Eliza. An old woman in the bakery remembered them, high school sweethearts torn apart by war. Thomas never returned, they said. Eliza visited the oak tree every Sunday for years, until one day, she didn't. With the story tugging at her heart, Amelia wrote an article about the letters, sharing excerpts and her search for answers. It went viral. A week later, she received an email from a man named Richard. He was Thomas's great-nephew. Richard had grown up hearing bits and pieces of the story. He revealed something astonishing. Thomas had survived the war, but had been injured and lost his memory. He had lived in a veteran's home under a different name for decades, never knowing who he truly was. Only recently had a DNA test reconnected him with his family. Together, Amelia and Richard visited Thomas. Now in his late 90s, his memory had begun to return slowly. When he held one of the letters Amelia brought, he wept. He remembered Eliza. He remembered the oak tree. He remembered love. Later that year, Thomas asked to be taken to the village. He sat beneath the oak tree once more, whispering her name to the wind. Though Eliza was gone, he felt her presence. In that moment, surrounded by the rustling leaves, it was as if time folded upon itself, reuniting two hearts separated by war and fate. Amelia stayed in the village. She finished her novel, inspired by Thomas.